Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to yet another very short video, and indeed today is gonna be very short. It's gonna be about prophets. We have 25 known prophets, or the 25 prophets mentioned in the Quran. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go through them and we're gonna mention a quality or something that resonates with us. This is Aisha, I'm Yasin. Okay, so let's get on with it.
So Yasin, tell us
Tell you way.
from Prophet Adam's alayhi salam story.
Yeah.
What is the one thing that resonates with you?
Oh Lord, our Father. I don't have like one word, like it's not like the word to describe it, but I like the fact that when he sinned, when he made that mistake, he didn't sit there and just say, oh, you know, he didn't blame things, external things, like somebody made me do it, or this happened or that happened. Immediately he went and asked for forgiveness. And it tells me that when we sin, our responsibility is to repent. You know how right now when we sin, we're thinking about, oh, Allah's not gonna forgive me. That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to, when you sin, is to straight away ask for forgiveness and let Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do the forgiving. So I like that about him. That just resonates with me.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I think that's the one thing that
Yeah.
also stands out to me when it comes to Adam alayhi salam. And you know, he's quick repentance, basically.
True. Our Father is no longer here, but he left this for us.
Yeah, he left us a lifelong lesson.
Yep.
So yeah. Okay, and the next prophet is Idris alayhi salam.
Idris, oh, people are gonna be so disappointed in me. I don't think I've actually sat down and actually go through Idris's life, like his biography and everything, which is sad. I should. So I don't think I have anything. So maybe you could shed a light. I don't have anything.
Well, I mean,
I just know about the pen.
Yeah, he's the one who write about the pen.
Yeah.
For me, one thing I love about Idris alayhi salam is the fact that, you know, even though he was a prophet, even though he, you know, prophets of God, they are very much guaranteed Jannah. Idris alayhi salam, when he was told by Allah that because he came and he cleared corruption, he literally cleared, you know, like all those things, everyone was in monotheism, and Allah told him that for every person that does good, he will also get the reward.
That's him. Oh.
I love how even though he's a prophet, he's only got the Jannah. Idris alayhi salam is like, yeah, I need to go extend my life because I want to get more good. And it just shows that, you know, we should never ever, anytime we have a chance to do good, we should actually do it, because Idris alayhi salam knows that him being alive, he's gonna get the reward for every person that does good. He wanted to extend his life, he wanted to accumulate that goodness. So that's one thing that I actually love about Idris alayhi salam.
I guess I love that too.
Yeah, he went to the fourth heaven and then they're like, oh! Mount is like, welcome, I've been waiting for you.
Oh wow.
Anyways, the next prophet is Prophet Nuh alayhi salam.
Nuh alayhi salam. Oh, there's a lot. I mean, one is the fact that man is okay. What he reminds me of is, you know how in this generation when we're giving dawah, we think, oh, it's about how many people we can bring in. No, it's about spreading the message. And that man, is it 960 generations after generation, and never once did he sit down and say, oh my God, ya Allah, I've been calling people. He didn't take anything personal, be like, I've been trying to call this. No one. No, he just spread the word.
Like, I'm tired.
Exactly. And he knew that his job was to spread the message, not to guide anyone. Allah is the one who does the guiding. So every time I think of him, it's just the relentlessness. I can only pronounce the word relentlessness. Is the fact that he was so patient with it. 960. So for me, it's that I just love that about him.
Yeah, me too. That it's almost similar. I love the fact that, you know, he's not thinking of even though it kind of did get to him a little. It's like, oh, like I'm preaching, you know. But it's like he's just like, oh, this is my job. My job is to preach. Whatever happens, you know, Allah has ordered me to preach. That's what I'm gonna do. If we as Muslims are given a dawah, like she said, it's like we feel like, oh, I'm telling you this, you have to accept it. No. If not, you're a kafir or whatever. Our job is to spread the message. The Prophet said, convey from me, even if it's just one. And our job is to just convey, and we just hope that Allah will just guide them. So that's one thing that also
and it also reminds me that you don't have to, just because, you know, if you're doing the right thing, you don't have to worry about who is with you or not. So he just, if it were me, 960 years, no.
Okay, the next prophet is Prophet Hud.
Hud alayhi salam, let me try to remember. I know about his people, the punishment, and how they were the giants, you know, and their strength. But what exactly? I think I need to go deeper also with him to actually know what basically like resonates with me. I don't think there is any, but the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always chooses like people from their people to send someone. You know, people who knows them.
Yeah, I think he brings a foreigner, they'll be like, who is this person? You know, but they know who they know. They grew up with him. They knew him. You know.
Yeah. So I need to go like a deeper dive to know basically what resonates. I'm sure there's a lot of things that resonate with me.
I'm trying to think also.
Right now I'm
and Saleh, I mix their story
me too.
Because they're kind of similar to me.
Are they like close? After.
I think so. I think it came Saleh. I think
see?
So. I don't know.
Well, then we might have to skip Saleh then.
But I think if I remember Hud alayhi salam, you know, I think if there's one thing that will resonate with if I get the story right, is the fact that, you know, regardless of his family, because I think it's also his people. He didn't really think of even though he was preaching against his people and they said so many things to him, you know, they didn't care about what he had to say. He didn't really let it get to him, and he continued to do his job just like Noah alayhi salam. He continued to do his job. He didn't let their talks or corruption or whatever basically get to him. But yeah, Hud alayhi salam and Saleh, I always mix their story. I feel like I know of Saleh a little bit more than Hud alayhi salam. But I'll have to revisit that story too.
I definitely have to.
Let me see, what is the next prophet?
I have 2 on my list then. Saleh, 3. Hud, Saleh, and Idris.
Yeah. The next one is Saleh.
She'll have to do because I don't have anything on me.
Saleh. I think he's the one that they told him that he just wanted them to stop so that he will become richer than them.
Oh.
You know, they were the ones. I think they were the ones that were cheating when they were weighing their stuff. They were cheating and all those things. And Saleh told them to stop. Again, his own people also. I think Hud and Saleh, I feel like their story are kind of similar. You know, and they told Saleh that if not for the fact of his family, they would have basically unalived him. Wow. And you know, I think they also told him to ask his Lord to bring the punishment. So I think Hud and Saleh, for me, they are both their people because they are Banu Israel. They asked them to they are not Banu Israel. Or are they? No, I don't think they are. But they asked their people to bring the punishment down.
They always be asking for that. Oh my goodness.
And both of them is like, you know, do what you have to do. You just trust in Allah. Don't look at who follows you, because Saleh had also a small amount of following, but it wasn't large, you know, and Allah asked him and his people to go, and then Allah was gonna come destroy all the people. But it's like, just don't look at the numbers like she said about Nuh alayhi salam. Just focus on what you have to do your job, do your purpose as a Muslim, as a creation of Allah, as a slave of Allah, and I'll leave everything to Allah.
Yeah, let the results be free. Allah will do the results. You don't have to worry about the results.
Right now, you might not see these people are like, oh, I enjoy it. We're having the people of food. We are building here and there. You know, we have all this. We're the powerful. No one can touch us. Don't let anything, any of those bother you. And it makes me think of how some Muslims are like, in our generation, especially us like African Muslims, like, oh my God, people in this like the West, they have all this. You know, I saw a video with a Christian, and they were like, you know, Africa, we were brainwashed with religion, and look at all these people they are having this and that and that. Don't let all those things. Allah came and destroyed the people of Hud. They had giant houses on their mountains.
Yeah, I don't think there is, even Allah said in the Quran, I think it was Surah Fajr, that there is not going to be another creation like the people of
they were mighty.
Of Ad.
They were mighty. Like
they were huge.
They constructed things on mountains, and they were competing in buildings. But yeah, don't look at all those glittering things. Just focus on what you have to do and focus on what you have. The next prophet is Prophet Lut alayhi salam.
Lut alayhi salam. Oh, that man. Oh, you know what he reminds me of is how when a Muslim goes to a non-Muslim place, you're suffocated. Because that man was literally in a village where everybody was just basically against him. Okay, for him there is so many. One, his wife, and as a woman, it shows me that just, you know, well, how am I gonna put this? Like, you being bad or good, at some point, like, it has nothing to do with your spouse, because the woman had a good husband, but she turned out the way she turned out, you know. And also, what also Lut alayhi salam, also the thing that resonates with me is the fact that also he was put in a spot where no one was with him except for his family. Well, if you exclude the wife, but that didn't stop him from doing the right thing. When the daughter came to him telling him that there are 3 men coming into the village, he could have been like, well, you know, I don't have the power, people don't like me. If I know, he risked his life and went and took them and brought them into the house, knowing that they told him that if you ever do, because I think they banned him from attending the garden and stuff like that, but still he did the right thing and housed those people, and he actually protected them. So I'm asking me, I would have been like, it's none of my business,
bro. You know? Like, look at how people are running around and knocking on the door, like,
because you were like, no, if I open the door, the danger is gonna come to me too. I have to protect my own skin, do me. But no, he also did the right thing, regardless of society, regardless of people, regardless of anything. Like, he did because he was like, okay, this is the right thing to do, and he trusted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he knew that. And see, there's 3 people he helped, angels now.
Yeah, angels who came to just clear the whole place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if there's one thing also that resonates with me is the fact that no matter what the influence of society is, everyone is doing bad, everyone is normalizing something.
They always focus.
You have to focus on what's right. Exactly. You have to focus on what your Lord asks you to do. Some people might come and say, oh no, you know, this is normal. You know, everyone is doing it.
Yeah, do as the Romans are doing. Not if you're Muslim.
Yeah.
You can understand following the law.
Yes.
But when it comes to
don't
practicing,
be a sheep. A Muslim, don't be a sheep. Most of our prophets, not all of them, we are shepherds, and we are the sheep of theirs. You know, we are slaves of Allah, but not sheep of society. Not anywhere the wind blows, you wanna go there. Any trend you wanna partake in it. Anything you just wanna be woke and all that. Clear it out. Lut alayhi salam, even though he was the only man who was like basically the only man.
Yeah, Lut stood on business.
He stood on it.
He stood on it. Not like, oh, everybody's doing it. No.
Yeah. Yeah, someone was like, well, everyone is doing it. You're like, yeah, doesn't make it right.
Yeah, everybody's not gonna be buried in the same grave.
Literally.
So
the next prophet is Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam.
Yeah, that one don't carry everything. That man, I don't even know where to start. The fact that this man, he was like, first of all, his family, like his father or uncle, whatever like the narration says, was against him. The community was against him. This kid, let me say this kid did not sit there and say, well, my forefathers were doing it. He did the right thing. He questioned this child. It was not like, oh, but I'm like, you know how we have this mentality, oh, but you're like, you're a child, you shouldn't be saying. No. He questioned at a very young age. People were against him. His own father was against him. This child was thrown into that fire. Help came to this child, and this child told Jibril that if it's from you, I don't want. But if it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the trust Ibrahim alayhi salam had. Exactly, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From there, Ibrahim, I think did they say 80? This man, he was so old. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not give him any children. But that didn't stop. He didn't sit there and be like, oh, it's my wife who is barren,
right?
Blame the wife.
It was the wife who actually suggested.
Exactly.
Oh my
blame
God.
the wife, or tell Allah, oh Allah, I've
what
been
kind
worshiping
of woman
you.
Is this?
Or be like, oh Allah,
you're wasted.
Yeah. Tell Allah, oh Allah, I've been worshiping you for so long. I've been praying, giving zakah, making dua. Why are you not giving me a child? Not once. And it was when he was old that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him a child. And
the wife was like 80 or something.
Yeah, they were very old. And the fact that when that child came, imagine you're so old that if your child is gonna be grown, by the time that child is grown, you're out the door. And then all of a sudden, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought another test, and the test was to take away that child again. And he still went through with it. And every time I just listen to Ibrahim alayhi salam, I was like, he just blows my mind. Like I don't like, I honestly don't like. And also the other thing, how he left his family in the desert. I'm like, Ibrahim, what
can you tell the wife? You explain it.
And the wife too also knew, and she didn't even
like,
believe us.
Allah, then Allah is here for us.
What's that? Someone must be like, how dare you? You know, in Islam you're supposed to provide for me. You leave me here since I'm vlogging you. Subhanallah. But the devotion they had towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You tell any like our generation right now, I go and tell my husband goes and tell my son, I'll be like, oh yeah, I had a dream to take you out. Oh, the next 2 minutes, knock 911 is at your door. Sir,
before he comes in, he will take you out.
Exactly. So it's the devotion that this man had. Like Ibrahim alayhi salam was just like he had tests from ever since he was a child. Growing up, having a wife, to getting old, child was coming upon child. And you know what is so beautiful about also his story is the fact that the day he was the good news of him having a child came was the same day his nephew Lut, they're going to destroy and he wasn't even worried about that. He was worried about his nephew.
Yeah.
It's like this, there's so many things about Ibrahim alayhi salam. I always want to say salatu wassalam.
Because Allah told him that he will not destroy a nation if there's one good person.
See?
And so Lut was a good person.
Yeah, good person. And look at how when we're doing our tashahhud.
Yeah.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim. Because Ibrahim, sometimes I'll be like,
the first person said he was our grandfather.
I know, like, I'm like, it's so great that we have so many prophets, but it's like Ibrahim just took half of the entire.
It's from his lineage that the Prophet ﷺ also came from. So
I don't know, everything about him just.
But yeah, there is so much that resonates with Ibrahim.
No doubt in his trust. No doubt, no ounce of doubt.
But there's another thing. There's another thing that also, because Ibrahim alayhi was a man of God, like he was devoted to Allah, and that is why his wife trusted him. So be very careful who you're getting married to. Like choose a man who actually fears God and have tawakkul.
Yeah, and men that fear Allah are so beautiful. Like they are so beautiful. Wallahi, they protect you.
The next one is Ishmael alayhi salam.
Wait, I always confuse Ismail. Ismail is the son of Ibrahim.
Yes, Ishaq and Ismail.
So Ismail was the one they were about to sacrifice.
Yes, the Christian belief it was Ishaq.
That I don't even know if it's rude to say that kid. First of all, the trust he had. Like, okay, this also shows you as a parent, the how do you call it? Is it the mark or the representation you have? Like the how you represent, because this child trusted his father. He knew the father taught this child about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At that young age, he believed, he had taqwa, tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That the father came and told him, son, well, our Rabb says this, and he said, go ahead. Like I said, I would have walked out that door, go and call CPS, get that man arrested, because you're not gonna take my life.
I'll pack my bag. Like, huh?
But this child see, and was even giving tips on how to go about it. Tie it, every look. I don't know how. Like, every time I think about him, I was like, yeah, I'm a terrible daughter. Because every time I'm there, you know what? Who told you to pay school fees for me? It wasn't me. Did I ask you to be bought?
They asked me.
And you're out here asking. See? Subhanallah, like every time I think of, I was like, yeah, that's. But also, it's the father also, how he raised him, how he taught. So it just reminds me that we as parents, we have so much, to do with our kids. And when you do the right thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will just like Ismail at a very young age. I don't see any child who will tell their parents to go ahead. Wallahi, I would have slipped out and run.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was beautiful about him.
Ishmael is a lesson that it's never too young to teach your child about Allah.
And I like that he didn't sneak around. Like he actually told him.
Yeah.
Like he actually sat the kid and he could have just like, oh, we're gonna go. You know how the other thing. You know how
the circumcision.
Thank you. I know how you just pick it up. The women how they trick you.
Yeah, they'll trick you. But we're gonna just go here and come and trick you to circumcise.
But he actually told him the truth.
Ibrahim he was honest, with his child. That shows the father-son relationship they have. They were open with each other. He taught him about Allah at a very young age. He knew about Allah.
I know.
Sometimes you want to wear hijab, they're telling you, oh, you're too young. Some people guys want to wear thobe and start dressing with the sunnah of, not dragging their dress. They're like, you're too young, like, why aren't you you're never too young to basically know about Allah.
And it's also a lesson for parents. See what Ibrahim did to the child?
Yeah.
If you tell your child, if you do right by your child, they're gonna turn out great. Yeah.
The next one is Ishaq. Honestly,
I don't know much about Ishaq.
I only know that's where Banu Israel's line started from. Okay, he's their grandfather. I mean, technically, started from Yusuf's father, Yaqub, but Yaqub is the son of.
Yeah, I always mix the family line. Yeah,
But
I have,
yeah, I don't have anything about Ishaq. I'm 100% sure he has some good lessons.
Yeah,
Him being that's the division between Christian and Muslim. Christians believe that Ishaq is the one that was sacrificed.
Okay.
Muslims believe that Ishmael was the one that was sacrificed. Okay, the next one is Yaqub alayhi salam.
Let me try.
Is the father of Yusuf.
The father of where to start? This man, this like the way he loved his sons. It was just, I don't know. As a father, do we have that? And also for him and Ibrahim also, it's kind of, look at how he was so involved with Yusuf alayhi salam. And he knew from a young age that this child, I think he knew like he was gonna, because he was prophet.
Yusuf had a dream and he told the father.
So that's how he knew. Yeah, and he just had that instinct that this wait, did he have an instinct that Yusuf was not dead?
Yeah, because he knew that he just knew his sons were lying, but he still did cry.
Like for him, honestly, it's just the love he had for his kids. The fact that he cried till he was blind. Like he cried for this child, like for his child. Yeah, for me, it's just the love of a father. I'm sure he did amazing work, but it's just the love of the, like, I'm trying to relate to like also a more human level too. You know, I mean, some people, but these people were prophets. There were some things also I relate to. So the love of the father. Yeah, I want my husband to love my kids like how Yaqub loved his kids. So for me, that was it. And what about you?
I think Yaqub was the one who married two sisters. I think from his story, aside from
like at the same time,
you know, Lord forgive me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I'm sure he was the one. He married two sisters at the same time. He married the elder one, whom he was not interested in. He was interested in the second one. And then the uncle, whoever tricked him, and after he worked for like 8 years, 7-8 years, he then told him that the younger one cannot get married without the elder one getting married. So he had to work like additional 8 years to get married. The second one.
Wait, I'm confused now. Isn't that in Islam is not allowed?
That one came after the Prophet Sallallahu. By then, allowed, you know. But yeah, I think he was the one who married the two sisters, and it just shows, hey, if he wanted to, he will. Okay, he will. But yeah, aside from him going for what he wanted, what he had his heart actually desired, he was also, just like Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was also a very, very good role model of a father, you know.
See, fathers take a lesson.
He did, I think from what I could recall, he did had favoritism when it comes to Yusuf alayhi salam and Benjamin, you know.
I mean, he was young.
But they were the youngest.
He was the youngest, exactly. So
I think Benjamin is younger than Yusuf.
Yeah, he's younger, yeah.
But yeah, so chat, you know how our youngest ones are always the ones to enjoy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What can we say? Let's it's like Yusuf also had so many tests, but one of my favorite ones is how he's the definition of a man. First of all, this man was locked in a room with another woman being seduced, and he turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not say, but while she came on to me, she tried to seduce me. And I like how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not make it look like, oh, he was a man of like he had a rock hard, like it's not gonna affect him. No, he knew, but he made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did not blame anything else, but he turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it just, this constantly, it resonates with me so much, because it reminds me of how our generation, whenever they do some immorality, they blame the other person. Oh, well, because she was naked, because she was trying to seduce me. It was how I was watching that murder mystery, and then this grown man was talking about how a 12-year-old was trying to seduce him. And I was like, yeah, we don't do anything. Oh yeah, you know, men are weak. We are so weak. You know, women are our weakness. So they go and do immorality and blame it. We don't turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't ask, we don't seek shelter. We don't go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't pray. We don't even avoid it. We just stand there and say, oh yeah, we are men and we are weak. We basically can't take it. Even if we see your ankle, we have to go all the way. So that resonates with me, that the fact that in that position, stuck, not knowing what to do, at any moment he could have given in, he remembered Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which says every time you are in a situation, at all times, you should be always conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. People will come to you thinking, oh, all the doors are shut. Allah is watching you. So that resonates with me. And you know what is so beautiful is the fact that he went from test after test. His story reminds me that sometimes we might think that things are falling apart, but they're falling in place. Like if the brothers did not take Yusuf out of that house, he would not have ended up in that well. Those people would not have taken him and sold him to slavery. I don't know who bought him. He would not have seen that dream and turned into Amir. If he didn't go to that prison, he would not have met those two people that he translated a dream for, and one of them got out and went to the king. Basically, like the whole thing, like his entire life story just tells you that sometimes things are not falling apart; they're falling into place.
You get to where you need to get.
Exactly. He went from
dreaming to being someone that was being bowed, like the stars were bowing down to, like, oh, you're gonna be a this. But the part to be that was crazy. Right now, you tell some people you're gonna be, a millionaire, but before you have to enter a pawn. You have to have this. You have to enter this. They're like, huh? I'm gonna die before that. You know. So sometimes, these journeys that we don't understand how they're coming apart, we're confused. Ya Allah, what's going on? This has been Allah wa ni'mal wakil.
Yeah, wait for it.
Things will fall in place at the right time.
Definitely.
For me, one of the things that resonated with me with Yusuf alayhi salam was family dynamics. Because Yusuf alayhi salam is someone that not only his extended family, his aunts and uncle, it's his brothers who put him through that. Can you imagine your brother putting you in a well? Oh, I'm going on life. What is going on? Your own brothers did that to you. I think apparently they were gonna kill him. I think it was like just one of them who was like, no one's gonna kill him. Imagine, like that betrayal. My heart. I don't know if I would recover from that. But it just shows that family will test you. Family will test you. When your family does something, sometimes just forgive.
It's like the biggest test they come from.
Family will test you. Just think of Yusuf alayhi salam. It came from his own blood relatives, his own blood brothers. But at the end of the day, what did he do? He still forgave.
Yeah, he had a chance to actually take revenge.
He
could have ended there because he had power. But he didn't. I would have been like, hey, welcome.
Welcome. How turns the tables?
I would have been so in a hurry to expose myself. You don't recognize me?
Oh, you put me. You don't know me. I'm your bro.
This is how I would have written a book about y'all.
Anyways, family will test you. So yeah, him fearing Allah and not just saying, oh yeah, Allah, well, she's the doors are locked.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stand here. She can do whatever she wants with my body. Now he was running. Like he was literally running. There was no way to escape, but he was like, I'm still not gonna stand. I'm gonna run away. But yeah, I'm sure there are other things that I've forgotten. But
and see how he didn't spend his entire life hating on his family. Because it holds you back.
It holds you back.
He didn't even bother.
And also, like, when he gave the interpretation of the dream to those two people in his cell, and he told one of them that when you get out, let the king know about the,
Oh, and he forgot.
And then he forgot.
Yeah.
It's how after he plays, he's not going to look for him like, I helped you, and you took your sweet time, Nah. He was just like, everything will just fall into place. When things are not going right, you're going right. You just know it, but they're going right according to Allah,
exactly,
not according to you.
Exactly.
But so this is just according to the list of the prophets, not like after who comes up. It's just like the 25 mentioned according. The next one, on the 12th one, is Shuayb.
Hey,
Shuayb alayhi salam.
Another one added to my list. I don't think I know. Is Shuayb the camel? Like which prophet was like the camel that they brought, and then these people don't go fishing one day?
I think I was Saleh.
Or Saleh, okay. Yeah. Shuayb, I don't think I have anything.
Naqatullah?
I don't think I have Shuayb.
Shuayb, I think he also just has the same thing with Hud. I feel like that's one of the reasons why I keep forgetting their story, because they're all similar. Because his people were corruptors. They did corruption and everything, and again he also, even though he didn't have support, he still did what he needed to do. I think his people were mostly like very corrupt people also. God, like I'll have to also review Shuayb. I knew his story, but I keep forgetting because I feel like he's Saleh and Hud, they're like kind of similar, but I could be wrong.